Hello and welcome to the third episode of LolliCasters. I'm David.
I'm Tony.
And I'm Mike.
Alright, so here on LolliCasters, we're just, chatting about whatever we feel like, whatever comes up in the news or whatever we feel like is interesting for that week. So today's agenda, first up, let's see here. We're going to talk about the hacker. Mike, that first?
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you walk us through what's going on? First, I'll set it up. There's a young man, I think a 14-year-old boy, who's being sued for cheating in a video game. So, can you fill us in there, Mike?
I don't have the article ready.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stall. Whoopsie daisy.
I love this shit. This is awesome.
Yep.
Well, anyways, there's a 14-year-old kid being sued by the developers of Fortnite for using a hacking tool to improve his, basically to cheat in the game. And they're suing him for, I believe it was, basically for copyright infringement because they allege that he edited the code of the game in order to be able to cheat.
Right. And now, in this situation, I'm thinking if it's his own game, like he bought it, like back in the day with PS2, you just buy a game and there's no online features. I don't think cheating is such a big deal or modding your own game. I think that's fine. But
Right.
yeah, when it gets to like online stuff, then it just gets under my skin.
I got a better solution all around.
What's that?
Just hire the damn kid. I mean, he understands their code well enough and modify the game. Why don't they just hire him?
Well, all he really has to do to hack that kind of stuff is go to like 4chan or something that has a hacker who knows what he's doing, just to give a detailed description and then the code.
Right. The 14-year-old didn't actually do the hacking himself. He actually just downloaded some software from other websites.
There
if
you go.
Watch his video on YouTube. He talks about like several different websites where you can find these hacking tools from.
So this company is going to sue a 14-year-old.
Right.
Yep.
But
for amounts of money.
It's pretty sizable.
So they're gonna expect this 14. I mean, even if like, okay, let's say they went $1 million or whatever. Or even call it like $100. It's the same difference to a 14-year-old kid. I mean, what do they really expect to get out of it?
I think it's more of an intimidation tactic to maybe discourage future hackers.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing went on. You guys remember when DirecTV was out like 20 years ago and guys would reprogram those cards and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, same basic thing right there. But I mean, they really made a good example. They caught one guy and they made a really good example out of him. Really good.
Yep.
I would just say hire the kid. Hey, how'd you do this? Okay, well now we know how you did it, and we'll shut it down. Here's $50. $50. 14-year-olds like score. You know, that's what I would.
They would have to do that for every person doing that download, and there's probably 1 million people downloading that thing. And this game is entirely online. It's an online, kind of like the Battle Royale thing where...
Oh, yeah, I mean, I get it. I just...
Yeah.
Like I mean, once they close that loop that the kid found, and they close it.
Well, what they could do is they could have approached the websites that distribute the software and I don't know, maybe try and track down who the hackers are, and then they could
right. I mean,
maybe hire them.
That'd probably be my
directly.
first approach than a 14-year-old.
My question would be how much time and money would that take versus just issuing a lawsuit?
That's probably why they went the lawsuit route.
Right, it's louder.
But it's still the whole idea of suing a 14-year-old. It's still kind of ludicrous in my head, you know.
Oh yeah, yep, I get it. Like, but you know, and of course, when Lord knows when Mike and I were 14, we were getting Game Sharks and action replays, and you know, getting the fun codes.
Yep.
Well, I mean, the all famous up, up, down, down, left, right, BA select, start. I mean,
yeah, Konami.
Right.
But I think I understand why they did it. I don't think it looks good, but you know, they're running a business. They're not worried about looks because you know, if their business goes under, all those guys are out of work. So.
Well, I mean, is it a free-to-play game? I'm not even familiar with the game itself.
I think it is free to play. Yeah.
Okay, well, if it's free to play, they're not really being hurt that bad.
Yeah, but what happens is when one hacker does that, then everybody stops playing their game.
Yeah.
Then their revenue goes down because you can buy in-game like microtransaction-y like skins and stuff.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's how they survive.
Right.
It's sort of like a League of Legends. That's basically
kind of. And this would be like if somebody hacked their account to make their character unkillable.
Okay. I mean, I'll take the kid's defense here right now. You know, if a 14-year-old kid can run around the internet and pick up certain programs and modify it, well, maybe their security isn't that great.
That's probably true.
I mean, the kid did the action, but it's not completely his fault. I mean, 14-year-old kid, okay, let's take it to this extent. He walks into a store, grabs a candy bar, doesn't pay for it. Are they going to throw him in jail for the rest of his life? Probably not. They'll probably spank him on the hand. Mom will come on down, pay for the candy bar, and he'll probably get his ass whooped by mom.
Right.
That's about it.
But now on the other end, is that store global? Does that store have doors and access from essentially every person on the planet?
Yeah, I mean, it's just an example. I mean,
I know.
I would say if they caught a 20-year-old doing it, that'd be a different story. You got a little bit more maturity there.
Right.
Not much, but a little bit.
Well, in all honesty, if the kid apologizes really hard or something of the nature, they'll probably drop it. It's more likely just a scare tactic.
Yeah.
So
I get you. I get it. I just have to kind of defend the kid a little bit.
Oh,
Right.
I totally get you.
I watched PewDiePie's video about it, and he played like a clip from the kid's YouTube channel, and he was very unapologetic about it. He was just more annoyed than anything. He's like, just kind of like, well, why are they singling me out? Because anybody can get these hacking tools. And he names off a bunch of different websites.
Oh, in everyone else's defense too, the kid was dumb by putting it on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're singling you out, because you're telling everyone how to do it.
Yeah, and if he does it on YouTube and he gets a bunch of people watching it, he can monetize that. So actually, he could be getting money from cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
So it is possible.
Yeah, but it sounds like.
I mean, let me look it up on YouTube right now. Let me see how many hits this kid has. What's the name of it?
Oh, I don't know. I was learning about it through PewDiePie's video.
Here, let me see if it's even still up. 14-year-old hacker. I'll just type that in as a.
But I think his mom is actually a lawyer, because she brought up a lot of interesting points, like since he's a 14-year-old kid, technically he needs her permission to be able to play like an online game.
Okay.
And I guess she didn't give it.
So that's not a bad defense at all. I mean, that's
Yeah. And then I think the fact that he himself didn't change the code, but he used the tool.
So now I'm going to expand this to a slightly different thing. Now, if a 14-year-old were to, say, get on an online poker site and get in maybe $100,000 in debt, could they make the exact same argument? Like, oh, my mom didn't say I could do it, so I guess I don't have to pay you $100,000 that I lost.
well, yeah, because you know damn well, of course, if found out it's a 14-year-old kid, he won $100,000. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're not old enough. You don't get it."
Right, but if he lost it, they would want that fucking money.
Well, it's they can't have it both ways.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But here's an example right here. I'm not gonna tell you the YouTube channel or whatever, but there's a gaming site or whatever, and just discussing this 4 days ago, it's got 250K views
Yeah,
just for discussing this.
right.
Now, I can't find the original video. It's probably been taken down. But can you only imagine how many hits he had?
Right.
Sizable.
So I just think, let's see, honestly, now if we lived in a perfect world, for me at least, I wish people just wouldn't cheat on those things. At least not, again, my thing is, if you're playing a game, single player, it's your thing, or if you have your server, if you rented a server and you want to edit the codes or whatever, by all means, do that as long as you're not bothering me.
Right.
So,
I mean, there's nothing saying this 14-year-old, in 6 or 7 years, he's out there doing credit cards and stuff like that.
I'm not, yeah, no one's saying that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
there's no point in playing, to me, there's no point in playing a game if there's no sense of challenge. So if I can't die, then the game becomes meaningless.
Right.
Speaking of hackers, here's a funny one for you.
What's up?
I got this one. 5-year-old boy hacks Xbox.
Oh, geez.
Forced to make fix because of a 5-year-old.
Oh, man.
I like that one. That one's pretty funny.
Yeah. That's kind of like when you hack. Go ahead.
It's just a picture of this blonde little kid just smiling, missing one tooth, going like, "Yep, that was me."
It's kind of like, how the hell did you do that?
Well, I mean, like we could even go back, excuse me, old school movies with war games with Matthew Broderick. Kids just looking for video games and ended up almost creating World War III.
Yeah. That'd be a pretty fun movie going on today if they did a war games reboot and they actually put money into it.
Oh God, that would be. I think that'd be one of the few reboots I would actually be excited for.
I'm surprised they haven't rebooted it yet.
Yeah, well, it's coming around.
Hell, we just said it. It's on the internet. They're gonna do it.
So
hey, we can make $50 off that.
That's right. And hey, movie developers that are listening to this that want the idea, you can put me in there. I'll just be a towel boy or something for free. That's fine. You just pay my flight.
Yeah, I'll be in there too.
Yeah, and Goat will be in there too. Pay our flights. Just give us. They don't have to be great hotels. They don't have to be 5 stars, but 4 stars, put us in a pretty good Comfort Inn or something, or a Super 8, something good. We'll be in it.
It's
we
probably
can just
not
be
going to
those
happen.
guys in the background and just playing StarCraft and just
That's right.
just be in the background.
Right.
We
could just be nerdy guys in the background playing StarCraft. I mean, it wouldn't take much acting, which makes us naturals for the role. So obviously, we are the obvious choices.
I mean, it's funny when I typed in hackers here, seeing all the YouTube videos about. Well, I see, hacked by a 14-year-old. This and so. I mean, maybe we should define the whole thing of hacking. I mean, what's the definition on that? What does Wikipedia say?
Oh, I I don't know about Wikipedia, but mine is when you change the code of something. Because a lot of cheat codes from like I don't know PlayStation 2 and Xbox era, those codes were just already in there. Like nobody altered the game code. You just
Right.
yeah, you just had to put in a sequence of buttons and unlock that stuff.
Looking it up right now.
All right.
Not really getting good. Not really good explanation.
All right. Well, let's just for my definition, it's if you change the code of something without permission. That's a hack to me.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, I'll go with that.
All right. Well, on a different note, speaking of movies, we just saw the Avengers trailer, the new one, Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say one thing about it. Boner. Yep.
Boner.
Absolutely riveting. They got the music in there. They got all the characters. It's I was surprised not to see Ant-Man in the trailer.
Well, if they took the time to put every hero in there, it'd probably be about an hour long.
Well, I know. I mean, even in looks like in Wakanda, they're gonna have like a battle, but they have all the Avengers that are pretty much running except for the Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't see Thor.
Well, Thor was there.
End of the movie or in the part 2, but Ant-Man wasn't running with him in Wakanda unless he was all shrunken up or whatever.
Well, Ant-Man's probably in the U.S. area with like Falcon and all that.
Yeah, Falcon was in Wakanda too.
Was he? I didn't notice.
Yeah. So maybe, spoiler, maybe he's one of the first Avengers to get killed.
Hey, guess what? It's not a spoiler if we don't know the story. We're guessing.
Well, I'm gonna say it anyways, sir.
Well, you're gonna be wrong.
'Cause I'm the GOAT.
Yeah, you are. Fucking stubborn.
Yeah. Shoot on marijuana, it looks like.
All right. Just supposed to be grass.
What do you, Mike? What are your thoughts about the whole thing? Your trailer when you saw it? Any things that piqued your interest?
It looks kind of like it's gonna be like multiple parts, like you said. Like there's probably just gonna be a part 1 and maybe part 2, and so.
Oh yeah.
I don't. I'm kind of curious.
They are scheduled to do a 1 and a 2 for Infinity Wars because the movie is just so big. I mean.
Yeah, it seems like it's gonna be big.
I wouldn't want to sit through a 4 or 5 hour movie.
Yeah, they show Thanos with only like 2 of the Infinity Stones, and he's like just starting to collect them all.
Right. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh, if he's getting the 2 Infinity Stones, it's probably the one from Vision and the one from Asgard, the Tesseract. Those 2 are.
Well, that was an interesting thing too. We saw with Loki, where it looked like he was handing over the Tesseract to Thanos.
Right.
So he has that one and that one, but where he brings up his glove, you only see 2 of them, but we also do see Vision. What you think about Vision is he's human at one point in the movie, and we see looks like something like Loki's scepter, similar but not a scepter.
Well, one of the Infinity Stones is in Vision's forehead. That's what brought him to life. So he's going down pretty soon. Like he might not die, but he's going to get a massive downgrade in power.
Well, yeah. My whole one thing is wondering is when we see him as a human form, we still see the remnants of the yellow stone. So I'm kind of wondering if that isn't him after he got the stone plucked out of his face.
Well, we'll find out.
Could be.
Yeah,
Isn't his body still like modified even without the stone?
Oh yeah, it's all adamantium. So
Yeah, I mean he's still a program, and it's all adamantium. I mean that was what Ultron's body was supposed to end up being.
Right. Yep.
I mean, and he still got Tony Stark's program or whatever in there. So
yeah,
in a sense,
Jarvis.
So you know, still be powerful. I mean, Ultron was damn powerful, and he didn't have no damn Infinity Stone.
Oh yeah, he just won't have the power to warp reality.
Yeah. But I don't think Vision's down and out completely, but he just won't be as badass as he was before.
Right. I'm waiting to see what Scarlet Witch does.
Well, did you notice? It looks like Vision and Scarlet Witch kind of have something going on there.
Well, yeah, that started in the last movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, but it was more. No, not really. I mean, it kind of did, but it kind of didn't.
Well, yeah, well they were really hinting at it, like they were ham-fistedly. They were trying to be coy with it, but it's the same.
They were together.
Yeah, they were totally like, oh, he's got a sweater, and now you're cooking, and.
But like I mentioned before, guys, I mean, how did you feel about the whole Avengers music at the end and the big after the music came on? That always gives me goosebumps when I hear it. By the way, well done music, and and the big thing is, and like I mentioned before, you guys, like I'm sure it was a huge round of applause. I mean, probably deafening when you see Thor in the back of the Guardians of the Galaxy's thing going, and Thor goes, "Who are you guys?" You know?
Yeah. Like I'm honestly, out of all the movies they've done, Guardians 1 is probably one of my favorite movies. I'd probably say it's top 1 of all time. So
it's damn good.
Right, and I just saw Ragnarok last night, and Mike saw it a while ago, and we were both.
I haven't seen it.
Right. I'm not gonna spoil it or anything, but it's got more of it's got a closer feel to Guardians. It's not Guardians at all, so don't think it's going to, but it has a nice fun atmosphere to it.
And see, that's what I liked about Guardians. It was fun. I mean, like say, for instance, another not DC, but Marvel movie that came out that is coming out again that we discussed a few times, Deadpool 2.
Right.
That's why people like that one. It's just fun.
Right, and this one actually, Tony, did you ever watch the Flight of the Conchords, or do you know who those guys are?
No, I haven't seen that, no.
It's a comedy music duo, or they were, from New Zealand. So, like, the director's from New Zealand.
Okay.
And he's got, like, let's see, his sense of humor is more of like a dry kind of, almost dark. No, I wouldn't want to say dark, but just like a really dry wit about it.
Okay.
Let's see.
That'd be perfect. Yeah, I like that kind of humor.
Did you watch the trailer for it?
For
Ragnarok.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did watch that trailer. I loved it.
If you thought that was funny, then you'll like the humor in this movie.
Well, I gotta tell you one of the funny things with the Ragnarok trailer was when Thor meets Hulk in there, and he goes, "Hey, we work together."
Yeah, I know him from work. It's basically that. Like, the very first joke. This is not a spoiler at all. This is like the first 15 seconds of the movie. Thor is in this cavern, looking at this. I don't know the guy's name. This giant fire guy. And he's trying to talk to him, but Thor is tied up in some. Yes. What's his name again, Mike?
I think Surtur.
Okay, Surtur. Okay. So, but anyway, Thor's hanging by a chain, and he's hanging sideways, and he keeps rotating around. So every time he faces away from Surtur, he's like, "Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna roll back around here. Rolling back. I'm not even doing this. It's just happening." So that kind of stuff.
I love that
It
part.
does so. I may have to go watch that tomorrow with the fiance.
Yeah, I highly recommend it, honestly.
Yeah, I'll maybe I know she's gonna love to get out of the house, so I'll probably do that tomorrow. Let's go watch Thor Ragnarok. Maybe we can do a review on that next week.
Oh, could be. Could be.
All right.
All right. So, how about that takes us into our next thing? Let's see. The net neutrality is back up in the.
This is going to be kind of helpful for me because I know nothing about this issue.
Right. Mike, could you walk us through the basics of it?
Right. So right now, with the net neutrality, every website is treated equally, and so every website has to run at basically the same speed. And if net neutrality was gotten rid of, then some websites would be able to pay to have their content be faster than other websites, and ISPs or internet service providers could pick and choose who they want to go faster and who goes slower.
All right. So it would basically prioritize, or it could potentially prioritize larger websites with more cash to burn than others.
Yes. And one of the reasons that the ISPs kind of want to do this is because right now sometimes there's a lot of congestion on the internet. It's like, say, if everybody wants to hop on Netflix at the same time, well, that puts a really heavy load on the broadband because there's like a limited amount. But if they could give Netflix their own highway, their own route, then it would relieve a lot of the congestion.
I see. So all right, so let's go through the pros and the cons of it. You kind of touched on why the ISPs like it, or why they presumably like it. All this is presumably because we cannot read their minds, and if you're listening to this, at least from my perspective, whenever you go into something like this, never presume whatever they're saying is 100% accurate, because there's always the one thing you can always count on when it comes to this kind of stuff is human greed or human interest. Like, these guys are obviously going to do this for their own self-interest. It's not good, it's not bad, because of course they will, because they're interested in themselves. I would do it for me. Right. So
I presume, well, I kind of hypothesize that the ISPs would prefer this getting rid of net neutrality, because then they could charge websites more money, basically.
Would they be charging the websites or the people?
Well, I think they would rather charge the websites so that they could keep their prices the same, because the companies have more money to burn, but the users, they have a limited amount of money to burn.
Okay, I mean, with this, would this mean where? Okay, this is what I'm getting from it. Okay, it's basically you're paying a toll on a highway.
Yep.
To go faster, compared to if you want to skip the toll, you can stay off the highway and take frontage roads or side roads.
Yes.
Okay. As far as letting certain people that can afford it, I mean, like Netflix, of course, that'd be a big important one. I would say Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, any streaming application would probably want to invest money in
that. Right.
Just to make the content faster. Whereas, I'll tell you what, as a user, if I was able to pay an extra $50 a month, see a significant, be right on up there. Well, I mean, there's another thing too, is where if they get rid of this, they'll be like, all right, well, you're all down to 1 gig, have fun with that, and blah, blah. In order to get up to like 5 or 6 gig, then you gotta pay blah, 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 blah. Where if they're gonna decrease my performance right now, and then make me pay for the performance I have right now, more for the performance, that's where I'll get a little bit upset.
Well, there is the potential that the ISPs could just screw everybody over if net neutrality goes away.
Right.
But there's also the possibility that, like, if we let the capitalist system kind of work itself out, and if the people vote with their money, basically, then things might bugs might iron out. But I don't know how long that would take.
What you're basically guys are describing here right now is similar to like AT&T. If you got their phone and you got internet, well, you've run out of data. But if you pay an extra $10, we'll give you 1 more gig. Is that kind of what's going on here, or am I completely not knowing what I'm talking about?
Well, let's see here. Let's see. It's
be speeds or how much data you get, or
the way it seems.
It's more speed.
Yeah, it's more just the speed they let the websites go at, essentially. But here's go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay, I'll go. All right. The ISPs are saying this would be good because the capitalist system will allow other internet service providers, like not just in the Midwest it's Mediacom, or the one that everybody knows is Comcast. Those guys are the big fish right now, but they're saying if net neutrality were gone, it would allow for smaller internet service providers to pop up that only give a specific few websites priority. So, like, you might have this guy who specializes in YouTube and Google stuff, and then this guy over here, he specializes in Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. And then this guy over here, he's all about the independent websites and all that stuff. But now, what I'm looking at is, I guess the big argument is not whether, if this does happen, they'll be treating the internet the exact same as cable or television.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the difference, at least the way I'm seeing it, the difference between the two is you don't need a television for day-to-day life, but a computer seems far more important just to get by. Like,
oh yeah, I mean, definitely go with that. I mean, you know what I do for work is I actually install internet myself.
Mm-hmm.
I won't tell you which brand or whatever, but I definitely know that. And if people don't have their internet, it was funny because I was installing over in North Dakota. I'm at some trailers and stuff for FEMA, and the first thing I wanted in there was TV before anything, even before their TV was there.
Oh.
And they wanted their internet even before anything was there.
Right. I get the internet one because, like, for a lot of schools, like they rely on the internet to do classes, like to do your homework. You gotta have the internet to do anything, really. So the question is whether the internet is actually becoming a utility, like water or electricity. And I would make the argument that it is.
Oh, I would definitely agree with you there 100% too.
And if it were a utility, if it were considered a utility like electricity or water, then you would not be able to specialize anything. You wouldn't be able to focus, like YouTube gets better service than that guy, because it would be the same as if you were running a power grid and you were like, oh, the rich guys, they got all the money, so we're going to give them, just fine electricity. But these poor suckers over here, we're just going to give them the crappy low wattage electricity they can barely do anything with. So that's the way a lot of people are looking at it. I'm one of those people, actually.
And that might be why they started out with having net neutrality in place, to kind of have it be that kind of a system.
Right.
Well, here's a question. How did this get taken off? I mean, who voted this not to be whatever? Who took it away?
Oh.
I think the FCC is trying to change this.
Let's see. I remember the guy's name is Ajit Pai. I don't remember who. I think he works for Amazon. I forget honestly.
He used to work at
That would make
Verizon, I
sense.
think.
Okay, he used to work at Verizon. So a guy who used to work at one of the largest, phone and internet providers in the country joined this company, and he's trying to undo net neutrality. Now, if I were a skeptical man, which I hope to be, I would think there's something fishy there,
Right.
and I do. And the thing you got to remember is, taking this thing down, deconstructing something is way easier than putting it back up.
Yeah, and I think Verizon is aren't they kind of like an ISP? Like, what they would probably benefit heavily from this.
Yeah, they would, because it would allow Verizon to give you internet in specific ways, like.
Yeah.
So.
And they could charge content providers for
Right.
fast lane access.
Right, that's what that is. So, what I would suggest, instead of killing net neutrality, because I don't think for the exact same reason, we don't want, the rich guys just to get the fast internet and everybody else just gets the crappy watered down internet that's slow as hell until they pay a lot.
I got it here. The FCC chairman, I can't pronounce his name. It's AJIT.
Ajit Pai.
Yeah,
Ajit Pai.
He wants to roll it back.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, whenever you do something like this, it always has to do with lining someone's pocket.
Right.
So what's he getting out of the deal? What's his stock in? I mean, how is he gonna? Why is he gonna benefit from that?
His stock is probably for Verizon, since he used to work there.
Yeah, I mean,
it's also possible. Now, this is very unlikely. It's possible that having worked in the industry, having worked at Verizon, maybe he understands why net neutrality doesn't work as effectively as repealing it would.
Oh, now that could definitely be, and if somebody disagrees with us, then they're more than welcome to, voice their opinions in the comments section. I don't mind. I'll probably end up reading it. I'm not going to be angry at it.
It's one of them deals where it's no one takes this big of a step unless it lines your pocket. And
right.
I'm still, and I hate to say this, and I know I hate politics and all that stuff, but I really think if we were to look at Obama and look what her stocks were in, I'm kind of wondering if that has not had to do something with the medical industry.
Right.
I kind of wonder,
Right, something like that.
It's, it's. I think this is one of them deals where someone either probably more or less above him or himself is trying to line their pockets with something on the down low.
All right.
We are talking about communication services here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's tons of lobbyists who go to Congress every day and try to buy their senators and stuff. So,
yeah, I guess I would say if everything stayed the same and then they gave you the ability to purchase more. I mean, remember back in the day when you had dial-up and then you had a T1 line?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. As long as you don't make my dial-up slower, then I'm fine with it. And, if you want to pay the money, go to T1 line. Well, you're paying the money. I mean,
Right. But now here's something I'm looking at. Like, there's a misconception with people who are looking at net neutrality as a bad thing because they're thinking that the government's going to run the internet. And I want to stop people from thinking that, because the government is not in control of the internet. They are regulating the internet. The internet service providers are not government offices, are not government agencies. Comcast is an independent company that does their own thing. All right. The problem is right now, every big service provider like that, they've essentially figured out how to gerrymander certain sections of areas so that they are not competing with another big service provider. If you don't know what gerrymandering is, it's a political term that it means basically you redistrict the areas in a state to give yourself a favorable vote. So what these guys have done, like say we'll take Iowa because I know Iowa better a little bit. So maybe Mediacom and Comcast are the two service providers in Iowa. I know Mediacom's one of them. But let's say they both want half. So what they'll do, they'll take a map and they'll take their buddies, they'll have a meeting, and they'll say, okay, so Mediacom's going to be in south central Iowa. Comcast, you can take central Iowa, and then we will take western Iowa, and you guys can take eastern Iowa. And I think, now this is just me speculating, I think they each have something everywhere, but I think certain companies, like maybe Comcast, is stronger than Mediacom in eastern Iowa. You could probably get both of them, but one of them is really weak and the other one's really strong. Because I used to run into that all the time when I was living in Missouri. So
Yeah, I bet companies do probably, kind of divide the territory up like that.
Which is actually illegal, but nobody's doing anything about it.
I'm actually looking at the bill right here. Where's this guy from? Verizon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. It basically saying that I see the biggest thing is not throttling people's internet, which they do now anyways through the phone companies.
Right.
I think there would be a big benefit if they could have a fast and slow lane, because if they could relieve like a lot of the internet congestion caused by streaming services, it would actually make a lot of websites move a lot faster, because they wouldn't have to like go down the same route as like the Netflix videos and stuff.
Right. That's definitely a big positive, so the big websites can get better stuff. But the big negative is that a smaller website that's just starting up won't be able to do that.
Well, it depends on what they're doing, though. Like, if it's just like a information page, like say it's like Wikipedia, they don't need the amount of broadband.
Right, but if they're doing their own independent like audio clips, or like if they're doing some videos on their own website, that's still going to take up a good amount of bandwidth.
Well, I mean that's where it comes down to too, where you said before it's like a utility. Well, they charge accordingly to how much you use.
Right. Well, they do that now.
Right. Exactly. So
that's fine.
Right, but if all the streaming services were on their own lane, then some, this new startup audio, they would have a lot more room. They would have a lot more broadband to work with, because all the big stuff is like on their own lane. So it'd be like kind of like moving, like you have semis and cars going on the highway. Well, if you just take all the semis and put them on their own lane, all the cars would be able to move faster.
Right, but my thing isn't their speed. My thing is the money it's going to take them to get the startup. Because
they don't have to pay anything extra to use the slow lane, though. It's just Netflix. They have to pay more to use the fast lane. Everybody else, the slow lane would just be kind of like the internet as it is right now, and the fast lane would just be like the fancy new like freeway that they build to like kind of circumvent it.
It's basically I would probably, like I said before, implementing a toll. Like if you're going through Chicago, they have tolls for that road where if you want to bypass that major interstate, which I know a lot of people do just because it's freaking crazy going through there. But it's basically hey, this is what we're doing to maintain this. I mean, I don't know what the maintenance would be on the internet or servers or what. I suppose it would be servers for, whatever. But it's I see it as a sense of that as okay. Well, if you're going to use this, then you got to pay. Well, I guess a little bit extra. I mean, we're already paying for the interstates through different means like taxes and all that stuff. But if you want to use this particular road because it gets used more, then chip in your 25 cents to a buck. I'm sorry there, buddy.
All right, well, I get that bit, and honestly, I'm kind of curious to see what happens because I'm going to be 100% honest with everybody listening. I live in Japan, so I don't really have to worry about this affecting me super directly unless it affects, websites of people that I watch or I follow, and they can't keep up with stuff.
Question for you, Dave. I mean, do they have anything in place like net neutrality over there?
Yeah, the internet's a national utility. Everybody. I mean, of course, I think there might be independent companies. I think I've just seen NHK though. But I was talking with Mike about this yesterday. The thing is, though, it does take a certain amount from everybody to keep it going. But my internet bill is only like $15 a month.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I would say if it came to that, because they charge outrageous prices for internet. I mean,
where?
Yeah.
Where I'm at. I mean, you gotta. It's about $100 bill a month.
Oh shit!
$50 to $100 a month.
For how much?
Right now I'm not going to give their name out because
don't worry about the name. Just the data cap.
Data cap. I think I got my data cap's like 250 gig.
Okay.
Which I never come close to using, even doing this and streaming YouTube and all other stuff and playing online games. I could see a family of 4 coming close to that. Actually, it's funny. Like my other half, my better half, her 2 kids blew through 150 gig of data in a matter of like a weekend.
Well, yeah, they also probably don't know how to change, or they don't know the benefits of changing their resolution down a little bit. Like, honestly, anybody who needs 1080 just to watch a movie of a dude talking at a screen need to have your eyes checked. Seriously. Like,
well, no, it was a matter of what these kids would do is they would get on their online games. They would have an iPad in their lap, watching videos at the same time.
I see.
As they were going on this, and then doing something else on their phone.
Oh shit.
That'll do it.
Well,
multiple devices going off at once.
It reminds me of when I was in when Mike and I were in, I think, middle school or something. My dad, everyone knows, was an electrician. He was a TV repairman for the longest time. So in my room, I had 2 TVs. I had 2 large. Now these weren't flat screens, everybody. These were big ass picture tube televisions. But I had one TV that was just for playing video games, and I had one TV that was for cable. But they didn't eat through data because the game is just there. They did probably waste a lot of electricity, but I mean it's not the same thing. Re-recording. Okay. All right, fellas. Today, let's hear from our first sponsor of the day. Oh, geez. You guys take a look at this. We got Lockhart Ice Cream as our first sponsor of the day.
We do, huh?
Yeah. His catchphrase.
Did he do cars?
Well, I guess he does ice cream now. I don't know.
Is it? Oh, okay. It seems kind of.
Car business went out of business.
Maybe he lost the cars. Ice cream is probably cheaper to do. Anywho, the phrase is his business motto is, "Hey, eat this."
Oh, that's original.
To the point. It's to the point. That's point.
Hey, I'm not going to knock the guy. He's your sponsor. He's paying for, hey, good guy.
That's right. Great guy. All right, here we go.
So, Mr. Swift, I got your test results back.
Oh, how does it look there, Doc?
Well, everything looks fine except it seems like you're eating a bit too much sugar.
But I like my ice cream so much. I mean, yeah. I mean, why?
I'm gonna just get to the point. If you don't stop eating ice cream, we're gonna have to amputate your leg.
Well, fine. I'm gonna be completely honest with you there, Doc. You can take my foot, but you eat my ice cream.
Yeah, Lockhart ice cream. Hey, eat this. What? Well, who are you? All right, I guess that was
Lockhart, get his
that,
voice right.
that was Lockhart ice cream. What do you guys think?
It seemed, well, interesting. It did have to do with, well, let's just say, young adults.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this time he did pay us. I mean, it's not a Chuck E. Cheese fun token this time. It's actual money. So,
Okay.
hey, John, can you give me? I'm calling John the intern. Everybody, John the intern. Everybody. Yeah. Anyway, how much did he pay us? I think he gave us $100. $100? You sure? Yeah. Oh shit. This is a Monopoly dollar. Oh. So we got a Monopoly dollar, everybody.
Yeah, that's great. Who's our accountant over here? I mean, who's that intern?
Oh, me, sir, John.
John, can you do me a favor?
Sure. What is it?
I need you to go into the bathroom,
Yeah.
stick in the toilet, and give yourself a swirly.
Yes, a swirly. Are you sure?
You go on in there and you gotta stick your head in the toilet and pull that lever. I mean, I'm just too lazy right now. You go do it yourself.
Okay, Mister.
I feel like
Okay.
that's a bad idea.
Okay, Mister. Go. John.
Yeah.
We should probably just let him go.
John the intern, everybody. John the intern.
No, we're not gonna let John go. I mean, if he screws up anymore, we'll just make him pay for it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that's not legal.
Who cares?
We don't care. By the way, if someone has a problem with how we treat our intern,
Yeah.
go ahead, Dave. Tell them where we're located at.
Yeah, we are located at 39.03 degrees north, 125 degrees, well, 125.76 degrees east. Come get us.
Yeah, and OSHA, if you show on up, watch out for the feminist and the terrorist.
Yeah, you guys can actually have a party there. It's gonna be kind of fun.
Can you imagine in front of our studio just them tailgating outside, the feminists and the terrorists and OSHA?
Hey, you know what? If that happens, I will finance the party. I have 10K yen. I can donate to the party.
Oh, hey, that works.
Yeah,
I will
10,000.
donate my appreciation and their good health.
That's right.
And a few packs of hot dogs.
10,000 yen.
That sounds like a lot, Dave. I mean, how much is 10,000 yen?
It's 10,000 yen.
I guess that makes sense. I would say an equivalent to the American dollar.
It's about $100.
No, that's pretty generous of you.
Yeah, I mean, you could buy a couple of 6-packs with that, and some soda pop.
Yeah, you could have a party with that.
Sure. I mean, I could have a party with that, but all right. So that brings us to the next segment of the day. Why don't we just get into some jaw jacking? How about it?
Alrighty.
You guys ready for some jaw jacking?
I suppose.
Let's see here.
Hey, Mike, you settle down, okay? You're getting way too hyper.
I'll do my best.
All right, keep her under control.
Alrighty. So here we go with some jaw jacking, everybody. Here we go.
Hey, before we start,
Yeah.
Where's the intern, Johnny?
Oh, John. Hey, Johnny. Hey, Mr. Go.
Okay, Just making sure you're just fine, because I actually never did tell you to take your face out of the toilet.
Well, I didn't want to drown, but I ate the worm in there.
That wasn't a worm.
Oh.
Good. John, you might need to go to the doctor.
Johnny, why don't you go over there and take some aspirin? You're gonna probably need that. And, yeah.
Thank you.
You might want to go back to the toilet and induce vomiting.
Okay, Mr. Panda. No, when you get in the bathroom. In the bathroom. Can't help it. Okay.
In the bathroom. Shut the door, you...
Come on, you animal.
Guys, Dave?
You filthy... jeez. These interns nowadays.
Yeah, where's he from?
He's from 39.03 degrees north, 125.76 degrees east.
That explains everything.
Right around our office. So here we go with jaw jacking, everybody.
Jaw jacking.
All right, yes, jaw jacking. It is not what it sounds like. It is not a man trying to manually stimulate a piston with his mouth. It is actually a debate segment where two of us, either Mike and I or Tony, will have a debate on a completely neutral subject. It's not left, not right, and they have to argue that it is left or right. Okay? So,
just for the audience, Mr. Could you clarify which is left and which is right?
Left would be liberal and right would be conservative.
Okay.
All right. So, and since I was an arguer the last two times, and I believe I won the first one, I will be the moderator this time. That means Tony and Mike are the two debaters today. So we'll go with Tony. Which side would you like, left or right?
Well, I heard if you always take right turns, you're a UPS driver, you're doing good. So I'll take the right this time.
Okay, Tony. So you're on the right side, the conservative side, and Mike, that leaves you on the liberal side. All right.
So then I already won.
Well, we haven't started yet, Mike.
Oh, okay.
All right. So here's how this segment will go. I'll give each of them a turn. After a coin toss, we'll decide who goes first. They'll have an initial argument for each, then a counter argument for each, and then a final statement, okay? And we usually give us about a minute, but we'll just go until you feel good, or we'll say 30 seconds maximum, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
All right, so we'll have Tony call it in the air. Heads or tails?
I'll go heads.
It is heads. Would you like to go first or second?
I will go second.
Okay. So since I'm the moderator, I am going to choose the completely neutral subject, and that the completely neutral subject is lemon juice. Okay, is lemon juice conservative or liberal? Mike, you have the floor.
Well, I mean, lemon juice is very sour, and it makes you scrunch your face up. And, you know, there's a lot of liberals out there that are pretty sour on the side, and and they, well, take Hillary, for example. I know, when things aren't going good for her, she scrunches her face up pretty well, and, you know, she could be a pretty sour person, and so can Bernie. And the lemon juice is also yellow, so I guess, you know, yellow is the color of cowards, and, you know, the liberals are pretty cowardly sometimes.
All right. Is that your initial statement? You finished, Mike?
Yep.
All right. Let's go with Tony. Your initial. Go ahead.
Lemon juice. What I have to say about lemon juice is, yeah, he's right.
What?
Yeah, agreeing with him.
You can't agree with him. It's a debate show.
Oh, well, everyone pees, and it looks like lemon juice, so we're all equal in this earth. So yeah, that's why. Yep.
All right. This is going swimmingly. Mike?
Yeah, I got nothing. Nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, I agree with Kim that they're pretty sour. Yep.
Okay, but how are they liberal then, Tony?
Well, I can only say the only one benefit that liberals would actually say that would actually take this group of lemon juice people would be is citrus is buoyant. So if you're ever drowning, grab lemon juice and it will save you. You'll be saved by the buoyancy of citrus.
Okay, so this is a pretty interesting debate we have here, where the conservative side instantly folded to the liberal.
Yes.
So I guess that was jaw-jacking, everybody. The winner today. Actually, you know what? We're gonna focus on the loser today, and I think the loser today was the listener. So very sorry for that not entertaining at all segment of jaw-jacking.
He had a good. Hey, I'm being conservative here, and I don't want to hurt his feelings.
Ah, god damn it! You want me to do this, Tony?
What he said is, they make sour faces and they're this and that. I'm like, oh, yeah, can't argue that.
So that brings us to our second sponsor of the day. Let's see here. They are Jack's Daniel, a real man's recreational beverage of choice. Sounds delicious, quite smooth and nutritious. Drink responsibly, ladies and gentlemen.
What you doing there, boy? You smoking that marijuana?
Yeah, what's it to you?
Oh, you like that marijuana, don't you, boy?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Well, let me tell you something about marijuana. It'll improve your eyesight. It'll relieve you when you're stressed. And there are actually no physical downsides other than smoking it. Do you think your heroes up here on the wall were smoking the reefer like Bob Marley?
Every day.
Yeah, he was smoking every day. How about Willie Nelson? Do you think he was up there smoking the ganja?
Every day.
God damn, you're right. How about Snoop Doggy Dogg? Was he smoking the reefer? You all the time. All the time. Elvis Presley. Do you think Elvis Presley and his glorious hips of wonder were up there smoking the reefer? Of course he wasn't. He was so high on tranquilizers he could barely stand up straight, let alone hold a joint. Now, if you want a real man's recreational beverage of choice, let me introduce you to Jack's Daniel.
Jack's Daniel? That's a dumb name.
Yeah, well, the name might be dumb, but this thing will help you be a real man. For example, you see this large gentleman at the end of the bar? You know you shouldn't fight him, but Jack's got your back. Or how about if you see a pretty young thing wander into view? You know you shouldn't touch her, but Jack's there for you. So, I mean, you might get into some pretty stupid shit, but boy, you'll be a man when you do it. So, come find me when you're ready to be a real man.
All right.
That's what I thought.
That sounds like a pretty good, a good sponsor. They actually paid us money. I know this one. Hey, John, are you done throwing up? There, Fox. Oh, can I go home? I don't feel so good. Should we let him go? He's had a pretty rough day.
Yeah. Go downstairs and get me a sandwich before you take on off.
Yeah, go grab him a sandwich. What kind of sandwich, Mr. Goat?
I want marijuana sandwich with plenty of marijuana on top of it and a lot of marijuana too. And by the way, if you go to there's a guy downstairs, next to terrorists. It'll say DEA right on his shirt. Go up and ask him for it, okay? Could you?
That's right. DEA stands for Department of Entertaining Effects.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. DEA marijuana. Okay. Here we go.
Are you happy, Tony?
Yeah, that's how you're of interns.
Well,
You couldn't just fire him, could you?
Yeah, I mean that's how you get rid of them. I mean, we don't pay for them anyways. Why not just mess with them?
Oh, Tony, that's why we love you.
I'm wondering who's our next intern going to be next week.
We'll find out. Anyway, it's time for the closing statements of the day. This has been a pretty long one, so we should have some pretty good stuff. So, what is the moral of today? We'll go to Tony first for this one.
If you're going to get into neutrality, good luck watching the trailer for Avengers, I guess, and hopefully a big company gets that stuff. And the moral of the story is, just drink coffee and call it a day. I mean, really.
All right, drink coffee and call it a day. That sounds like a pretty good moral. How about you, Mike?
Wear a comfy shirt.
Wear a comfy shirt. That's right, comfy, not comfy.
Comfy.
Comfy, I see. Okay, wear a comfy shirt. Gotcha. So, we've had a lot of laughs today. We've learned a lot. We've had some deep discussions. So my moral of the day is, if you're going to hack a game server while a movie's playing and a dog is barking in the background, perhaps if you're wearing a t-shirt...
Maybe he wants a t-shirt.
Maybe he wants a t-shirt. Maybe the dog wants a t-shirt. Maybe if you're wearing a t-shirt while you're hacking a video game server and watching a movie, Jax Daniel will give you ice cream. Sounds like a pretty good moral of the day. So thanks for watching us, ladies and gentlemen.